Hello and welcome to Agrestal Vestige, where we are vested in all things Agrestal. My name is Tom, and I'm here with you yet again another week with a blended Scotch whiskey review. But this time, it's a little bit different of a blended Scotch whiskey review because this is something a little bit special. Why is it special? Because, gentlemen and ladies, this is Clan Macleod blended Scotch whiskey. It is an independent bottler, Ian Macleod, and it's also, strangely enough, for a blended Scotch whiskey, bottled at 46%, noted on the bottle, non-chill filtered, and no color added. Non-chill filtered, no color added, bottled at 46%. You can't say that about many or some single malts. So this, as some would say, has maintained an integrity. Now, why have they done that? Because it is an independent bottler. It is not a common company like Diageo or Beam Suntory or a larger private company. So they buy these casks of whiskeys and they blend them themselves, and that's why usually these are released in smaller batches. So if you like this, unfortunately you won't be able to get it long, so stock up if you see it and you like it. Independent bottlers purchase these, blend them to a particular taste profile, and put them out onto the market. There are several independent bottlers out there, not a plethora of them, but there are some. Ian Macleod with the Clan Macleod whiskey is one that has done this one, and I want to share it with you. If I may. I mean, straight off the bat, you can tell that this is a quality whiskey because it hasn't been adulterated by chill filtration or coloring. It's a lovely, lovely light smoke, hint of smoke. That's a little bit more than a hint, but it's a lovely light smoke to it. Appears to be a Highland smoke. It's not an Isla smoke or peat. You get a nice floral note to it. A nice cereal note to it. As you can tell with the tears, or the legs as some people call them, it's quite an oily whiskey, which always is a good sign. Which means that when you add water to this later, you're going to even release more of the flavors. So on the palate, neat. It has an intense arrival. Whew. It is oily whiskey. It has a taste of camphor. There's a mint oil in there somewhere. It's quite pronounced, actually, the mint oil. And there's a hint of clove, like fresh clove. And also, strangely enough, there's a bubble gummish type flavor in there. Yeah, mint, clove, slightly floral, and the finish, oddly enough, is quite lengthy, and it has like a coffee bean flavor, coffee bean and smoked, like if you smoked coffee beans, for example. It's quite lovely. Now, since this is at 46%, I'm going to add probably 3 milliliters of water and see what that does. Okay. While that's opening up, I will say independent bottlers is something you should really watch out for, because they typically always blend or release malts at a higher strength than a typical commercial blend or release. Also, they have a tendency not to chill filter and put the caramel E150A colorant. Now, as this audience obviously knows, chill filtration, it strips the oils, it strips the long chain, the fatty proteins out of the whiskey. I mean, it just strips it of its flavor, really. It doesn't. People think they have to have a nice, clear, robust, dark whiskey, and that's quality. That's not true. I would much rather look at a whiskey and see some wood sediment in there from a cask, because I know if I saw that it hasn't been chill filtered, and you're getting a higher quality product. And what is a higher quality product? One that delivers more to the olfactory system and more to the palate. Better smells, better tastes. Now, this, you can definitely tell the difference when you add the water to one that's bottled at a higher strength. So now, I'm getting some beeswax, linseed oil, some like a honeycomb from like old-fashioned fresh honey, the honeycomb, like the way it would taste is kind of the aroma I'm getting off of this. And there's that camphor. Now see, before I had the camphor on the palate. Now after adding the water, you get it on the nose. So now on the palate, the mint that was there before has turned to spearmint, and it's right down the middle of the tongue. You can definitely taste that nice fresh mint leaf has turned to spearmint. The honeycomb I mentioned earlier is definite on the palate, but now you're getting a little bit more of the cinnamon oil. You can definitely taste the cinnamon oil. More of the floral type aspect of it is coming out now, like you're walking through a flower garden in the summertime. That's definite on the palate. And on the finish, after adding the water, you get this lovely hint of cocoa and vanilla. It's quite present and pleasant. Also, the finish has lengthened considerably. Do you know this whiskey? I found it at a one-off at a shop, and it was 20 pounds, dollars, pence. Wherever you're going to be, you'll probably find it for that. It is not an expensive whiskey, and it's amazing because it's so much better quality made than many of the standard blends out there. I mean, think about Chevy's Regal. Think about Johnny Walker, any label. You know, there's no comparison. I mean, that's absolute rubbish compared to something like this. But you're not going to be getting this all the time. And when you see it and you know you like it, jump on it and buy a case. This is absolutely lovely whiskey. Independent bottler, an Ian Macleod release. Clan Macleod is the name. Bottled it's 46%. Not chill filtered, no color added. Quite a complex little whiskey. If I hazard a guess, I would say that the whiskey in this profile is between 8 to 12 years old. Could be wrong, but that's what I would guess. I would also guess that this was matured in European oak cask as opposed to American oak, because it definitely has that distinctiveness about it that only European oak departs. If I were to rate this out of 100, simply because of bottled at a higher strength and no color added and no chill filtering, and the somewhat it's not an overly complex whiskey, but it's not a very simple whiskey, I would have to rate this actually at about a 91. I would, simply because it has everything going with it, and to mention on top of that the price. You can't beat it anywhere. Anyway, I don't know how much more I can say about this. I think I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it. Ooh. After adding the water and it's sitting for a little bit, you get more of that smoke coming out. It's like a bonfire smoke too. Anyway, like and subscribe and leave comments, please, if you're so inclined. And until next time, this is Tom for Vestige. Bye-bye.